Hey everybody. So I know this is kind of a weird thing, and normally I do voiceovers and stuff like that, and this is kind of a weird turn. Mainly kind of more like a callback to my older stuff, but I have to talk about this because I've been having so much fun with the game and stuff like that. But this is a Marvel Rivals video, and in no way is this channel going to become a Marvel Rivals focused channel or anything that but it might be something I stream a lot whenever it becomes 1.0 or during the betas or anything like that. So I just wanted to bring this out there. So I really enjoyed the game and I want to talk about it, but I'm just going to preface this right now. I am not bound by a contract. Neither me or my partner were bound by a contract. I got the invite as just a random invite because I signed up for the closed alpha, and then after like the full 24 hours of getting a free code, I gave the code to my partner. So, who, speaking of which, is right next to me. Say hello.
Hi.
Yeah. So we're both kind of getting our thoughts out there. I really wanted to talk about this because the game feels really fun to me. And having both me and my partner been ex-Overwatch players, and just kind of getting tired of that, this feels like a breath of fresh air. And we wanted to really share our opinions and kind of go over it. So I'm also going to apologize in advance for the audio quality. This is kind of just like on the fly, just a rip. I'm not setting up all my studio stuff just to get all the muffling out and everything. So this is just what you're getting is what you're getting. I'll probably have some gameplay in the background. I apologize if I suck or if I'm not doing anything right. But we are just trying to the gameplay is just going to be there to keep everybody entertained while we're going. I'll probably have some fancy music playing. I don't know. But anyways, so I just want to get started, and as a change of pace, I don't want to start with the positives, because as I made like a list of talking points, there were more negatives than positives, and I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. Now I'm going to say this right out the gate: the negatives can all be fixed. This game has like at least a whole year, or at least a whole year to fix all of these problems. You know, just with minor tweaking, some with minor tweaking, some with like some huge overhauls. But these can all be fixed since this is a closed alpha. So these are some talking points that I want to talk about. So we're going to start off with the domination game mode, and more specifically, the maps. You know,
Oh god, the maps.
the maps in this game are not very memorable and don't seem very well thought out. They definitely seem placeholdery.
Yeah.
Like, I love the aesthetic of some of them, but others just feel unfinished, or like they weren't completely thought out. I know you have your quarrels with one of them, especially,
Yes.
I forget which one it was, but it's one of the domination maps.
It's the I think it's called Odin's Archive. It's the one with the big giant pillar in the middle, and it's like on a circle tier on top of like the ground.
Yeah.
That one sucks a
Is
lot. That one's really hard to fight on, especially with the destructible environment, because the top tier can be broken, and so can the walls underneath it. So it's like you got a bunch of shit falling on you, and then it's like you've got people up top, and then you got people at the bottom, and it's like chaos. It's not a very fun map. In my personal opinion, it's not a very fun map.
Yeah, also it's the fact of like once that top tier is just completely destroyed, there's no high ground.
Exactly.
Except for in like one particular area.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way to move around, and then as a flyer you're just completely exposed.
Yeah.
Which makes things very difficult. Odin's Archive, not very good. The other two, pretty passable.
My favorite one is my favorite two is the Shibuya?
Shin Shibuya.
Shin Shibuya and the Bifrost Garden. Those are my two favorites because those ones I found the most, I guess, easiest to kind of like work around.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could say if my anger is not justified, you guess you could say it's a skill issue on my part with the pillar, the Odin's Archive.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, like everyone's saying though, like the pillar falling down, it looks like you can jump on it, but you can't, and it's just a huge obstruction, which I know is the point, but there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
And it just completely breaks up the flow of battle.
Yeah.
And like everyone's saying it's a problem, and I still think it's a problem. I don't know. I've played backline for most of this. I played Rocket, So it just seemed like that wasn't that big of an issue to me because I'm just trying to keep you all alive, you know. But it's mainly like you,
who plays like tank and
who
DPS.
plays tank and DPS, who's just in the front, just trying to do what they can. So I could definitely see why that could be a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shin Shibuya is definitely my favorite. I love the aesthetic. Everything about it is really cool. It's definitely got like the best vibe overall. Love the little lore tidbits. Love the designs of Spider Zero and Karn. Just and everything about it is really great. Another thing though, which I guess we could probably just jump ahead a little bit, is the sound design. The sound design is kind of whack in this game. Some of it sounds really good, really satisfying.
The characters, the abilities, and everything else like that sounds fine to me. It's the destructible environment. I wish that when things broke, it had more of like a telegraph sound to let you know that, hey, this roof is falling down, or hey, this floor is falling down, so that way you know, okay, this thing is falling down and it's gonna be in my way, you know? But moving into the destructible environment just a little bit here, I don't understand the complaint when someone said with the regen of the destructible environments, because it's telegraphed, you know? You can see the green when it comes up and it rebuilds, you know? You can see it, and then people are like, well, I don't know when it's coming back up, and I'm like, you can clearly see it.
Yeah.
You know? But I wish that the environment had a little bit more sound when it broke.
Yeah. I could also think maybe giving the environment more health, make it harder to break, that might mitigate a thing, because like I can understand why they have the terrain reset, because if someone breaks an entire wall and that your entire wall is fine, then you have clear like shots at people, and then you can see them coming before they see you, and it just makes things kind of an unfair advantage. And I know you're like, oh, but then that just makes it that means we just had a better coordination and stuff like that. Yeah, but then you're just kind of bulldozing the whole game, because you just like, while you got a good wipe, you just fuck up their environment, and now they're just fucked for the rest of that game.
Yeah.
So I can understand like resetting the terrain back to 0 as kind of a way to make things more fair on each side. Definitely seems like a good alternative. It's just I don't see why it breaks so easily. You know,
Yeah.
I don't mind it coming back up rapidly, because at least now you go like, oh, it's coming back up. I can remove, or I could come in here for cover now again. But it breaks really easily, which is kind of my big thing.
Yeah, you shoot one little bullet at it, it just crumbles.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the destructible environments, the sound design, I do, and I know you said earlier that like some characters didn't feel like the sound design was fine. Some of the characters for me just don't feel very punchy. Like some of them, their sound design was like too quiet, or it just didn't fit the character, and it was just really weird. Like Groot's sounds kind of off to me. I don't know why. It just sounds too slimy to me, and kind of a little low tone, and it's like, that sounds kind of weird, you know?
You know who's annoying though? Pure chaos! I hate that. Oh my god, when she's ulting, it's like nails on a chalk.
Wanda's pretty bad. She is a big problem in this game.
Like her voice acting is phenomenal, but like it's just when you hear it, you're like, oh shit, and then it's like really loud, and it's like in your face, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing with all the ultimates in here, which actually is like another thing that I want to talk about too. The ultimates. I mean, I kinda got it a little bit, but the thing is like, since most of these actors are speaking in English, and most of these characters are in English, or are English speaking, it's hard to tell who's doing the ult. If you have two Doctor Stranges, you hear by the Vishanti or the Eye of Agamotto, and in this team fight you have no idea what's going on. It's like, did I just ult? Did my team just get ult? I don't know what's going on. And it makes things kind of confusing, because I'm panicking, because I'm like, oh shit, Doctor Strange just ulted, where's my team? And it's like, oh wait, no, I just repositioned myself and I'm dead, you know. And I guess subtitles help because it tells you.
Yeah, but I think the subtitles a little like distracting.
Yeah,
'Cause they're,
subtitles
like,
shouldn't be
constantly
necessary.
They're like constantly popping up and stuff like that. And for me, with someone with like ADHD, it's hard to like focus on like multiple things at once.
Yeah,
because
this game is pretty hectic.
This game is hectic, so I'm trying to focus on gameplay and, getting, KOs and stuff like that and helping my team. But then I got these subtitles at the bottom that are like really big, and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm focusing on text to see who's ulting.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe having a different signifier or something to see who's ulting, because I know Overwatch did it. I believe I might have this reversed, but if the enemy team is ulting, they speak in their native tongue, but if your team is ulting, they speak in English. Yeah, so that's kind of how you're able to diversify, and that's kind of makes it easy. But when you have Liam O'Brien saying the same thing twice, but with different words as Doctor Strange to signify an ultimate, it's just kind of difficult. So it makes things kind of weird. I mean, probably what would make it easier to kind of like, it doesn't have to be a whole thing, but like maybe give the enemy team's voices an effect for you or something. Just make them sound distorted or something. Not like obviously like radio or CRT or anything like that. Just give them a weird distortion so that like, okay, so they're the fakes, I'm the real, because that's obviously, that's kind of what you're doing, or well, you're really fighting just alternate version of yourself, but still, it's like I'm the original, they're the fakes. I could tell who's who from this distortion, just a simple thing. I don't know if that would actually solve anything or if it would get annoying, but that's just kind of what I would suggest. And I know they are definitely still recording voice lines because it's getting sticky. It's getting sticky. Better than Aunt May's chicken soup.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, just hearing that over and over again. They need, like, I'm pretty sure they're recording more lines, but it's very strange that they don't have very many more. But then I guess last couple of points on the negative side. Man, we've going at the negative for like 12 minutes now.
Holy
Damn.
Shit.
Yeah. And again, to reiterate, this is all just like stuff that can be fixed. Like we have about a full year till the full release. So all of this could be addressed and changed, and I am all here for it. All right. But the last couple of things, technical problems. I'm not gonna say it could be just a PC issue, like a hardware issue, because we do have stuff. But our games are able to run everything on just about like medium settings. We don't have anything super powerful, stuff like that, but everything is on a medium setting and it runs smoothly. I remember when I first booted up the game, everything was running at 60, so smooth and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden we'd have parts where like my game would take forever to load, especially when it says 99%. And my game would not load in. Sometimes the character models will invisible. Of course, the infamous Doctor Strange lag, which I didn't really encounter that much, but it was there. And then, like, I believe you mentioned something happened to you too.
Yes. So when I would load into the game, I would lag for like majority of the first half of the game. And then also whenever everybody was all grouped up and like the enemies and us were grouped up together and we were all fighting each other with a bunch of bullets and like magic spells flying everywhere, and then not to mention you have the destructible environments coming down, it would cause my PC to lag a bit. And it would cause quite a bit of lag, and then that would end up me dying because I can't shoot or aim or do anything.
Right.
But after a while, after like maybe the game goes on for a little bit longer, it fixes itself. It doesn't lag anymore. It's just when the game first starts, for that first bit of half, then it fixes itself. But,
right.
Yeah.
And then I guess the final point we should probably talk about is the balancing. This game is very, very much unbalanced. Now, I'm not going to say some characters fit the perfect zone. Some characters fit perfectly, but some are overtuned or very much undertuned.
Yes.
I believe Luna right now is probably the most balanced, at least in my opinion, as a healer, because like her healing does good and her ability to kind of pierce through you and stuff like that is really good, and she can be killed out of her ultimate too. Like though it's like it's hard, but it's possible if your team coordinates, you can kill her. So I feel like Luna's the most balanced, but then you have characters that are undertuned. Like, I believe Spider-Man is very much undertuned, and Black Panther, but I have most experience with Spider-Man, but I hear Black Panther is just atrocious. But Spider-Man is, like, very much undertuned. The fact that he requires heavily on getting his debuff off to do big damage is kind of ridiculous. If it is required, I think, like, for one, the debuff needs to last longer and give him more web shots. That I think that would solve a lot of his issues.
Yeah.
You know. Also, he has a bit of a glitching problem. I don't know if this is for me, just for me, or anything. But whenever I would use his web swing and I used it on a part of the building, it would just take me to the building and then just drop me, and I'd lose the charge. There's some stuff like that, you know. And then also, like, it. I don't know. He's felt really undertuned. Penny feels a little undertuned. Like, the mines don't do enough damage unless, like, you set up specifically in that spot and everybody kind of goes at it. Like, I played a little bit of Penny. You played way more Penny than I did. I bet you could speak on this.
The thing I noticed is, and I know this is kind of a tactic that you're supposed to do, but I noticed that her web thing where it shoots out, not the web thing, the mine thing that shoots out the little mines in the area. If you place
the spider
it down,
nest.
The spider nest.
Yeah.
I noticed that if you put it down near a choke point, the enemy team just attacks it and then just keeps going.
Yeah.
They literally get rid of it and it keeps going, and your whole plan is just fucked.
Yeah. I think probably like because I noticed too, if you destroy the nest, the mines like despawn.
Despawn, yeah.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Also, if you kill Penny, they despawn.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, oh my god, and this is one thing that annoys me about Penny. When she's about to, and I guess this is with all characters, but mainly my problem with Penny, is she's supposed to be a tank, right?
Yeah.
Why is she not, like, sorta indestructible during her ult? I mean, she's, like, literally coming at you, like, guns a-blazing, dropping mines. That bitch can get killed, like, easily.
Well, I mean, they do give her a big shield, but I think your complaints that you brought up to me before, she wasn't CC immune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your big problem that you were talking to me about.
Yeah, but, like, and also, I also noticed, maybe this was just because of the animation that was going on, I tried using her web shot on, Magic turning into Darkchild, and I noticed that, the web, it didn't stick. It didn't latch on, it didn't, like, you know, web her. I also noticed it kind of with Hulk a little bit. Maybe it's because I was doing it at the wrong time. I'm not sure, but I just noticed that it didn't work for me. But I just feel like Penny is just doesn't do enough damage for a tank. I know
seems practically squishy too.
She seems really squishy, at least when I play her. But going up against someone else, she's a bitch to take down.
Yeah, it could be just scenarios and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could just be that, but like I just feel Penny is a little underwhelming.
Yeah. And then going from the opposite end of the spectrum, there are some characters that are overtuned.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I know you have a lot of fun with Star-Lord,
yes,
but he is really good. He's got so much mobility, it does so much damage. He is like really good.
Although I will say he's really good and he feels a little overpowered, especially with his ult. He's very squishy. That's his big drawback. He's very squishy.
Yeah.
So if you're not dashing or you're not
being really mobile,
you can get killed like pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like very easily
Yeah.
if you're not playing right. Also, him against tanks is kind of meh.
Yeah, you're kind of like required to get headshots with him at that point.
Yeah, kind of required. But he is really good otherwise against like other squishies like healers and other DPS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another good one that I absolutely do not like that she's that good is Magic. She has the health of a tank, but like.
Yeah, Magic is a very good backline harass. A little too good.
A little too good, like very too good.
Like if she just gets off her her wide sweep, she builds up like 200 health and shield.
Especially when she has that shield, then she becomes even harder to take down.
Because she builds shield every time she damages someone.
And also her cooldown on her teleport needs to be like upped, because when I'm fighting one-on-one as Star-Lord with a magic and they're coming after me and I'm trying to shoot them, they're just teleporting everywhere. That shit needs a cooldown.
Yeah. Another couple of really powerful heroes are the hit scan ones. So of course Star-Lord, but then you also got Punisher. Punisher is really good, like super good. Not only is he good for like for flyers and far range heroes, but also like tanks. Just switch to shotgun and you melt them. It's insane. He's a really good all-arounder, so he needs to be tuned a bit. Hela is really good. Her headshots are insane. Like hell, I cannot tell you how many times I have been headshot by a Hela when I'm just dashing away and stuff like that. It is insane. Hela is too good. She gets invulnerable and stuff. Scarlet Witch is like top tier as well, because she works like Moira except more damage, which kind of makes sense because Moira is always like, the meme is she's mainly a DPS and a healer second, you know.
Yeah.
But if Moira was straight DPS, that's Scarlet Witch.
And
you know.
I feel like Scarlet Witch doesn't really need a whole team wipe. I mean, come on. I get that she's like a really powerful witch and everything, and I get it's part of her character, but for me, personally, it feels like an insta-kill if you charge it up long enough. I mean,
yeah.
Especially if you got like a pocket heal behind her, like healing her the entire time while she's ulting, because I know you can kill her out of her ult, but like, if you got healers on her and stuff like that, and you got people attacking you while she's ulting, and you don't see it coming, it's just instant kill. Yeah. Instant kill. It's you just evaporated.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of funny that like, I don't know if this is like intentional or not, because like most heroes, when they say their ultimates and stuff, it's pretty straightforward, just the whole line and then they're done. Wanda, it's just pure chaos, and it's like, what happened? What? What?
And the range is deceptive on that.
It is very deceptive.
It is very deceptive on it, because I remember one time you were playing, I was watching you, and you ran into a building out of range, and it followed you. It like got you in the building even though you were out of range.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is like really deceptive. So it's definitely heroes need to be tuned, buff, nerf. Some are pretty perfect. Like I said, Luna Snow, I think she's a solid healer. Mantis is also pretty solid. Rocket, pretty good. It's funny, all the healers are pretty good.
All the healers are pretty solid,
yeah. Probably, Doctor Strange is really overtuned as well. Like, he's got a really unique ability and stuff, but his shields come up really fast. He does deceptive damage, you know.
Goodness. You'll see in the gameplay, there was this Doctor Strange, and he was going after nobody but me the entire time until I killed him, and then he backed off.
Yeah. Groot, I say, is also pretty balanced. At least if you ask me. I know I got like a 14-player kill streak with him, but there is no bias. I genuinely mean that he's very fun and he's very balanced, because the requirement to put up your walls and stuff to kind of maximize your potential.
He's also beginner friendly.
Very beginner friendly.
Yeah, because my brother was playing him and he was doing pretty well with him.
Yeah, we'll get into the positives on like how well the game kind of conveys characters to you in a second. But I think probably the last thing I want to touch on, this is a something that I don't know if it was specifically that they're just testing out for the alpha or something, and it's something I didn't even notice until someone brought it up to me, is the season bonuses. I do not want these in the final game. These things are they basically pigeonhole team comping. So if you don't know what season bonuses are, basically every season characters will get bonuses if you pick a specific team up with them. So for example, they had a season bonus with, I believe, Rocket, Groot, and Punisher, where basically if a Rocket and a Groot were on the same team, not only could Rocket jump on him, but Groot would get 200 extra health, which, I mean, like, is really good. So I don't know if, like, Groot is naturally at 900 health or if he's a 700 health hero, you know? I don't know, because everyone was running him, especially me, you know? And then another one was if Rocket was paired with Punisher, Rocket got, like, 5 to 15% healing buff or something like that. So the seasonal buffs to characters is just pigeonholing like team comps per season, and I don't want this to be a thing, especially like since competitive is probably going to be a big thing because I know they're doing an esports for it. If they're doing esports, I don't want there to be metas going into competitive saying like, hey, it's this season, running Rocket and Punisher is viable, you need to do it, and then if you decide to play your favorite hero instead, not get cussed out about it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, don't get me, like, I know you and I are very passionate about that, but about like toxicity in competitive scenes, but like I just don't want to be forced because the game is encouraging this pigeonholing.
I've literally seen people play Spider-Man on YouTube, and they won't get any like thumbs up or nothing, and then people in game will be like, "Oh, look, we got a Spider-Man on our team," you know. It's like you can't play. It's like in competitive, you can't even play your favorite character. You have to play what's good what's meta.
Yeah,
at the time.
I think that's kind of speaks to like a lot of competitive games like that. But I mean, it feels like this is lining up for something that's very bad.
Yeah.
With the season bonus, because like,
and also just the team ups in general. I get what they were going for, and it's unique and stuff like that. But like, for example, Wanda and Magneto. Oof.
Magneto's damage buff is insane with Wanda.
It is.
I don't even know if that might be a season bonus too. I'm not sure.
It might be because
I know
I play Star-Lord, I see no bonuses pop up.
Yeah, there's no bonus yet, which is funny because 4 of the Guardian members are on the team.
4 of them, but and none of them have a team up with Star-Lord.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
None of them.
But that's kind of something I'm worried about for the future. So I hope that they remove that or tweak it in some way where it's not forcing people to pigeonhole in the meta. That is at least my opinion. And I have high hopes for this. When the closed beta comes out, or the open beta, or maybe full release, I'll probably make another video like this addressing whatever else problems are coming up. Like, I know NetEase has a history of kind of shady microtransactions and stuff like that. I don't know if this will be the case for this game because Disney is breathing down their neck. So I have high hopes, but that's kind of the fear. But we have been talking for over 26 minutes on the negatives. We have a lot to say about it.
Yes.
But let's talk about some of the positives for once. I still think this game is super good. If you check my profile, if you ever get access to it, I have about 10 hours on record. That's just playing, just regular game. I probably have closer to like 15. Because I was trying out a bunch of heroes in practice versus AI just to kind of get a feel for them, to feel comfortable with them. That way, if I was forced into a role, I kind of felt what needed to be there. Eventually, I just settled on Rocket because Rocket kind of fit what I needed, and I sucked it up and became a healer.
I tried Luna, I tried Penny, and then I tried Star-Lord, and I really like Star-Lord. Yeah. I really like him. But if I could play like in any category, I think Penny would be my tank, Star-Lord's my DPS, and Luna's my healer. Right.
I mainly ran Groot, and then for my DPS I did Punisher, because Punisher's really good. But onto the characters though. I will say these character designs are amazing. They are so faithful to the comics while having their own little twist. I love that Punisher is a brick shithouse. He is built like a brick shithouse, and it makes sense for some reason in this art style. Because he's normally a beefy guy, but the fact that like this art style kind of talks about, like, kind of shows how beefy some characters are and really shows off the dramatic flair and everything, really like emphasizes their character designs, and it's really good.
Although I will say the skins though are lacking a little bit.
Some of them are lacking, I will say, but I really like some of them, especially the original takes. I like the 1872 Rocket. I like Spider-Punk 2099. Those are cool. Even some of the comic skins, like President Loki or Steampunk Iron Man. Those are really cool.
No, not that Star-Lord skin.
That's
That is
Master
one
of the Sun is pretty ugly, yeah. But the whole aesthetic of the game overall
it's really cool.
Is cool, is gorgeous. It really brings you back to the old time of like Ultimate Spider-Man games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really honing in on the comic book side of it, you know.
Yeah.
And again, back to the character designs, like they all look phenomenal. They stay true to the character while also being a unique twist.
Yeah.
And I think it is awesome. The UI, so cool. It is so unique. Like, after coming off of like Overwatch with its bland ass sleek design, then you got something that's like really pop and has a lot of flair and personality.
Mm-hmm.
It really sticks out and it feels so fresh.
Yeah.
It is so cool. Like, even little details of like you hover over a character and they move with your mouse for a little bit.
Yeah, that is true.
It is like really nice details.
Mm-hmm.
And like just the match loading in screen is really cool. Like everything is just flash and it is just it's all in your face and I'm here for it. You know, it really pops like how a comic book should. I will also say the animations are really solid.
Yeah.
They are really solid. I will say there are some that are missing. They just kind of move from one to the next, but for what's there, everything is fluid, it is readable, and it is nice. I say it is like really, like, I am surprised everything looks and feels as good as it does in this stage, because for being a closed alpha, it is insane. And then what else do we got? You know what? Let's just jump right to the gameplay. Right onto it. Gameplay is snappy. It feels tight. It feels so good to play. Like, I have not had this fun playing a hero shooter, or a shooter in general, like, since Overwatch 1. Like, to be honest, like, I of course I love the greats like Mass Effect and all that stuff, which is kind of like where the third person kind of feels at home.
Yeah.
But the abilities and everything just feels right at home with this.
Yeah.
And everything feels snappy, everything feels good to use, and I generally, like, can't wait to see more that is incorporated with this.
You know, I personally prefer third person. I don't really like first person shooters. I actually prefer third person.
Right.
Only because it's easier to see the enemies and the surrounding, you know? First person just feels a little too, I don't know.
A little too hyper-focused.
Hyper-focused, yeah. But, like, you know, third person, you can see the surroundings, you can see your character, so when you buy a skin in the game,
you can actually see it, which is amazing. I hated that in Overwatch, that you can only see your skin whenever you were emoting or you died. You see your body fly off the edge of a cliff, and it's like, bye.
You can't even, in Overwatch, you can't even, you know, like, appreciate your skin, but other people can.
Yeah, other people can. But you can't. So I like the fact that that the skins are, you could see them finally, so you can sit there and go like, yeah, I look cool, you know? And it's just fantastic. And again, the skins, about 80% of them hit. I will say that. Even the recolors, I am pretty okay with.
Yeah.
I will say Dora Panther, Red Panther, kind of weird. And Master of the Sun is definitely not hitting for me. But, like, every other skin is, like, fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, I think you could speak on this, the controller controls.
Yes. I personally don't have a problem with the controls because I don't play with keyboard and mouse. I just find it more confusing because you get to press different keys and stuff.
You're a console child.
I'm a console child,
you just migrated to PC.
So I migrated, and I honestly prefer controller versus keyboard. The controller feels fine. It feels fluid. The only problem I have is with aiming. Because my sensitivity's not, you know, high enough, or maybe it's too high, but I have a hard time just finding where people are and aiming.
Right. They also said that they were tweaking aim assist, so that might have something to do with it as well, because they keep asking in the surveys, like, hey, what do you think about aim assist and stuff like that? And you could say, like, doesn't feel good enough, feels fine, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, I say controller is fine. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna keep playing on controller, even though it does have aim assist.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying I prefer controller all the way. people would be like, well, you know, keyboard and mouse is superior. I'm like,
Presses X button.
because for me, controller is so muscle memory.
Right.
Because I'm so used to playing with a controller, whether it was on console or PC. I play Fortnite with a controller. I play Stardew with a controller. I play Mass Effect on the PC with a controller.
Right.
Every game I play is with a controller unless it is viable that it uses keyboard, like Sims. Yes, I'm a casual gamer. But I've always used it, so it's just kind of like muscle memory. It's like, oh, press B to do this. Okay, pressing B, you know?
Simple as that.
Simple as that. But with keyboard, it's just like, oh, you gotta press the G button. Okay, let me extend my thumb all the way to the G button.
I guess another thing to point out about the controller, the mapping on PC, very good.
Yes.
I can speak for that. The mapping on PC is very good. Easy to pick out buttons and stuff of what you need. I haven't played any other character that really needed a lot of button presses, but like Rocket with Groot, of course, I just had to press C to jump on them, C to jump off, Q and E for my abilities, stuff like that, left shift. Everything seemed pretty functional and very well. I got used to it pretty quick. So the mapping was pretty good. What else do we have?
I don't know. The keyboard thing, with the keyboard, there's just so many freaking buttons on the keyboard. There's just so much to keep track of, because like each button does something different sometimes. And so with controller, it's simple. You got Y, X, A, B, and you got right bumper, right trigger, left trigger.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And then you look around and you look around with L and R.
Right.
Simple as that. No, nothing to it.
It's just not as precise and fluid because the mouse is really good.
Yeah.
But and then a couple other things as well to talk about that's in the positives. The music, really good, especially the loading music. I love just going in and hearing, especially in Shin Shibuya.
Although it's really loud.
It is very loud. I think that's something that they will fix.
Hopefully.
But in Shin Shibuya, just hearing like the strings and everything, and getting that really like Japanese feel and everything from the environment. Very high tech, but very, but very traditional.
Yeah.
It felt very good. The Norse ones felt really good. In Yggdrasil, I really liked the theme and stuff like that. Though I will say, in the heat of battle, you don't really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But when the moments when you're getting back to team, or like when it's loading and stuff like that, you're kind of like, yeah, this is pretty good, And then you keep going. And then I guess probably my final takeaway. The final thing I should mention, and you kind of mentioned a little bit about it, I consider this a positive. I really liked the team up abilities.
Oh, okay.
I wish they had more. So that way not at least every combination, but like a lot more combinations are viable together.
Mm-hmm.
Because we only had 4 or 5 available and we had 19 characters. So you would expect.
We had more than 4 or 5, didn't we?
No, they had Hulk, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Groot and Rocket and Punisher, Magneto and Wanda.
We had Magic and Black
Panther,
then Namora and Luna.
And I think that's it. So 7? Yeah, 6. 7. So we have 7. Sorry, I can't count my fingers. We have 7, and there's basically like not that many between other characters. Like, I know it'd probably be hard to find some sort of synergy between them, but you could think of something. Comics always think of something,
Yeah.
So I think like there needs to be some synergy between them, so that way no one feels left out just for picking a character.
Yeah.
They feel that they're a detriment. Or alternatively, if there is no character with a team up, make their passive worthwhile, because I'm not sure what Star-Lord's passive is, but it's not very noticeable. And some other characters don't have very noticeable passives either. So if you're gonna have a character stand on its own, let it be something that really can give them an edge. To make up for the lack of team-ups. Now, I'm pretty sure in full release is going to be way more team-ups, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wish that there'd be more than just, like, the 7. And also more with more characters. I know we have 3. One that incorporates 3 people. But I'd like full, like, if someone wants to run a complete Guardian squad, You know, give them that guardian buff.
Yeah.
You know, let them play like they're the actual Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, that would be awesome.
That would.
And then I think that's really all I have to mention.
But I do have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you had to pick a character from Marvel Comics to be in the game, who would you pick?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like them all. There's already assets showing that Moon Knight's going to be in it because I love Moon Knight. He's my favorite. But I will say my favorite character in Marvel Comics is Ghost Rider. So I would hope they would incorporate him. I don't care if it's Johnny Blaze, Johnny Ketch, or Robbie Reyes, or any of the other Ghost Riders. I think Robbie would be interesting because Robbie also has portals. You know, he has portals and stuff, and he's also the All Rider, which means he can like turn anything into anything living or dead into a vehicle or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
But Robbie's interesting. I really like Johnny. I love Ghost Rider in general. He's really my favorite character. I also love the Nick Cage movie, Sue Me. But I think he's really cool. He could work as like a great, I don't know, like a weird combination of like a ranged and melee character. I could see him maybe as a tank or DPS, really, because like in comics, Ghost Rider is nearly impossible to take down.
But he'd be a tank then.
Yeah, it's not because of his health. It's because there's hardly anything that can kill him.
Yeah. You
know. You need a holy weapon to kill him. And the fact that he's like bound to such a powerful demon, I think it's Zarathos? He's bound to such a powerful demon just makes him that much harder, you know? So I would really love to see Ghost Rider in here. I would main the shit out of him. Especially like incorporating like the bike in some way. That would be awesome. So I guess from me, I will bounce that question back to you. Who would you love to see in
Psylocke?
Psylocke, yeah.
Psylocke, I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
I know she's kind of like a background X-Man, but
she's prominent. She's popular.
She's popular. She's in Fortnite.
She's Fortnite.
One of my try-hard skins in Fortnite.
She was in a movie. Not a good movie, but she was in a movie.
I don't know. I feel like her abilities could play well. Maybe as like a healer, maybe a DPS.
Probably a DPS would be my bet.
Maybe if they take like the Fortnite route and like give her like a psionic blade of some kind.
Well, she's always had that. Okay. I mean, like, are you familiar with Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Not really.
No? Well, basically, she's in that game. And she works as like a combo fiend. She's incredible. She shoots butterfly projectiles. She has like twisting uppercuts and stuff that she uses with her blade and stuff like that.
Is she like a ninja of some kind?
She's from an order of ninjas, I believe. So I think she could totally work as a DPS.
Listen. I don't read the comics much.
I know.
I just like pretty women, and I love her so much because she's really pretty.
Yeah, neuron activation.
Yeah. But I know a little bit about her, but enough to know that she's one of my favorites.
Right.
That and Star-Lord. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is my favorite movie, my favorite Marvel movie of all time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
So, her and Star-Lord would be my two picks, and Star-Lord's already in the game, so...
Yeah. Alright.
But Psylocke definitely, I feel like they could do quite a bit with, her psychic abilities.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty good. Yeah. So I guess we'll end it here at 40 plus minutes.
Wow.
We have been talking for a while. I hope I have enough gameplay for this. So I guess if you listen through this whole thing for first impressions, thank you. I know we're kind of just rambling here, and we did bring up some points, but I really appreciate you listening. It means the world to me. We'll be back to regularly scheduled content. I got something Marvel related coming up, and we'll go from there. If you let's do something fun. If you watch throughout the entirety of this video and you're willing to leave a comment who would you like to see in Marvel Rivals. I think that would be fun. Because we're at 19 right now. I believe Overwatch started with 29, so we have way more space to fill. Especially there's only 4 tanks and 4 healers. We need a lot, So if you can think of a character that you would like to see in Marvel Rivals, comment it below and give us some feedback. I would like to get back to doing this kind of content as well as doing voiceover stuff. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.